the formula is as follow, he wins if he doesn't lose. And for Israel, Israel loses if it doesn't win. Would Israel be able to invade Lebanon? Is Israel really ready to invade Lebanon? This is another question. The Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is willing and he likes to do it, but in strategy, it's the balance between the political and military goals and the means. Does Israel have these means?
Israel and Hezbollah have exchanged near daily fires since the 8th of October, but the conflict escalated after Israel killed Talib Sami Abdullah, one of Hezbollah's most senior members. In response, Hezbollah launched hundreds of drones and rockets at Israel. The Israeli army announced that it had approved plans for an offensive in Lebanon. This announcement coincided with Hezbollah broadcasting footage from a surveillance drone over the northern Israeli port city of Haifa, in an apparent warning to Israel against starting a war. The recent escalations, along with speculation that Tel Aviv is planning a full-scale attack on Lebanon once it winds down operations in Rafah, have ignited fears that a full-fledged war between Israel and Hezbollah could ripple across the Middle East.
מי שחושב שהוא יפגע בנו ואנחנו נשב בחיבוק ידיים, טועה טעות גדולה. אנחנו ערוכים לפעולה מאוד עצימה בצפון. בדרך זו או בדרך אחרת, אנחנו נחזיר את הביטחון לצפון.
وهو يعرف أنه لن يكون هناك مكان في الكيان بمنع عن صواريخنا ومسيراتنا.
We asked Ilyas Hanna, a former Lebanese general, to explain the repercussions of Israel launching a military offensive in Lebanon, whether Hezbollah is prepared to respond, and how far the group might go in reaction to any military actions from Israel.
When you talk about non-state actor, the formula is as follow, he wins if he doesn't lose. And for Israel loses if it doesn't win. There is no accountability for Hezbollah vis-a-vis the Lebanese government. So he has a little bit of or more freedom of action. However, Hezbollah is a hardened non-state actor. He fought in Yemen, he fought in Bosnia, he fought in Syria, and he fought against Israel in 2006. And I was in the south in 1993, 1996, the Grave of Wrath and all of that. So it's like military army within a country, but it has a lot of leverage, lot of experiences and a lot of weaponry, and now he is in the learning curve process with with Israel. Whatever happens, he was really able to innovate some new tactics, because it doesn't mean, it's not really important if you have the most advanced weaponry, and this is what happened in the 7th of October to funnel Aqsa. So it's about how you use it tactically and how you innovate tactically on the ground. Hezbollah, I think that he's created and imposed on Israel a new equation never seen before against Israel. He has created a buffer zone inside Israel, and he is really challenging the air superiority of Israel, denying sometimes the drones to fly over Lebanon and maybe violating the Israeli airspace by using the drones. And you are seeing new tactics, the swarm tactic of the drone and how you can avoid the Iron Dome and all of that. So it's like giving Hezbollah some leverage. And last but not least, the Hudhud, the latest deterrent and direct message for Israel, the Hudhud, and how was really able Hezbollah to go into Israel and record everything for 2 times. In Haifa region, the Galilee, and having a bank of targets, rich, important, high-value targets, and being able to really deter Israel. So this is the situation. Is he able to do it? Why we don't ask the opposite question? Would Israel be able to invade Lebanon? Is Israel really ready to invade Lebanon? This is another question. Maybe the Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is willing and he likes to do it, but in strategy, it's the balance between the political and military goals and the means. Does Israel have these means? What do I mean by means? I mean from the political leverage, the global political leverage. We've heard what the United States of America is sending some messages to Israel to, not to go into full-fledged land warfare against Lebanon, first. Second, the Israeli army is really drowning in the sands of Gaza, and it is exhausted, and as well as the equipment. And if Israel has the means, they need the boots on the ground. So there is 4 brigades from the Northern Command are fighting in Israel, so they have to withdraw and conclude the Gaza operation. And after really withdrawing the Gaza operation, if they can, they have to go into the double R, rest and refit. So they need to refit and rest their army, prepare them again, prepare the theater of the Galilee, and then in war you go for the worst case scenario, or you prepare for the worst case scenario, hoping for the best to come. Moreover, do they have the do they have the means, the ammunition? They depend on the United States of America. So that's why maybe Prime Minister Netanyahu is really attacking Biden for delaying the most important weaponry or ammunition, 3,500 heavy bombs of 2,000 pounds on 500 pounds, because he's not really going to use it in Gaza, because Gaza is already destroyed. So it's about Lebanon, sending a message to Lebanon.
Some Israeli officials are now indicating a preference for diplomatic solutions with Hezbollah, a notable shift from their fiery statements in recent weeks, expressing readiness to go to war in the north. We asked Hannah whether Israel is genuinely seeking diplomatic solutions in the region and what the potential costs of such a solution might be.
Diplomatic solution, it depends on the prices to be paid, whether by Israel or Hezbollah. What does Israel want? Do they want to go back for the settlers to the northern Galilee and all of that? So they have to pay a certain price. If the Israelis accept now what is going on at the status quo, it means that Hezbollah has the upper hand. What do I mean by this? Yeah. He has imposed some new equation never seen before, as I said earlier, and it will be the upper hand for Hezbollah. So in order to go into diplomatic solution, you have to have that both parties say that we have won, or at least you show it, you display it as winning for both parties. Because if you don't go into political or diplomatic solution, and you go by force to attack Hezbollah and then bring back the settlers to the northern side of Israel, it's enough for one missile to go from Lebanon into this area and to really go back again to the square number one. So you need something that really happens, as I said earlier, maybe escalate to de-escalate to a certain point, to go into maybe amended 1701 resolution, or maybe the resolution. But to ask Hezbollah to withdraw to the Litani River is a pipe dream, I guess.
Hezbollah has made it clear that they do not wish to start a full-scale war with Israel, though they are prepared for it. The question remains, to what extent would Hezbollah support Gaza without engaging in a full conflict with Israel?
It's about maybe the biggest geopolitical game ever played in the region. You know what I mean? It's between the Yemen, the Houthi, between Iraq and Syria, and between Lebanon, and then Gaza. Why you go to war if you are really achieving your goals without a fight, by other means, by a certain proxy? The Israeli army is, drowning in Gaza. First, they are hit by their prestige. You are paying a price politically, internally. Israel is not really stable economically and all of that. And the biggest winner is Iran. Why should you go to war? You try to avoid the war, maybe at the same time doing some benefits for Iran. It's about a geopolitical game. The Middle East will be different Middle East after this war.
US officials have stated that they are striving to prevent a greater war between Israel and Hezbollah. They have also signaled to Hezbollah that if the two sides fail to reach an agreement, they would fully support Israel in its offensive. However, is US support for Israel unconditional? And how does General Hanna evaluate the US mediation efforts between both sides?
Israel used to be a strategic, asset for United States of America. But today it's becoming like liability for the United States of America. There was some conditions on the American interference based on two elements. If Hezbollah attacks Israel, the United States of America will stand by Israel. But if Israel attacks Hezbollah, we are not really prepared to defend. This limitation and this constraints on the Israeli behavior. Moreover, the delay of weaponry and delay of ammunition, because they need it badly, And the United States of America is really busy now fighting in Ukraine, now in the Middle East. So what would happen if something occur in Taiwan and the Pacific?